Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm going to show you how to make this giant Sour Patch Kid. You can do it too. I even show you how to make the mold. So keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this. So one of the first things we need to make our giant Sour Patch Kids is a mold. And since I can't just go on Amazon and buy a giant Sour Patch Kid mold, I have to make my own. So the first thing I did was actually print out a picture of a Sour Patch Kid, which is just like this, and cut it out just on a piece of paper. I just did the full length of the paper. This is going to be our guide. And what I'm going to try is, I've done this before with cookie cutters, making my own cookie cutter, and I'm going to see if this works as a mold too. So the first thing I did was I took a cookie sheet, just lined it with some foil. That's simple. Next, what you're going to need is one of these, which is a disposable baking tin. And we're going to cut these up. These are pretty cheap. You can usually get them at the dollar store, for instance, or a couple other places. It's better if we get the longer ones. There are some shorter ones, which I have a lot of those too, so I may end up using those. We're going to cut strips, and we're going to make them about 1.5 to 2 inches thick, longwise. You'll see what I mean. So we're going to cut these up. Use some sharp scissors for this, and here we go. And be very careful with this. You might want to use gloves because this is very, very sharp and it will cut you. So the metal. All right, so you should be left with a piece of metal like this, and you want to make it as straight as possible. There you go. That's one piece. We're going to cut out a few more pieces of this because we're going to need a lot. This is going to form around our mold like this. So a few more pieces for sure, at least 3 more. Might help just to cut away the side pieces first, just to get those out of the way. All right, so we have 5 pieces actually, which is quite good from one of those disposable pans. Now what we're going to do is take our individual pieces and join them together long ways like this to form one long piece. I might just do 4 of them and then see where it goes from there. One of the things you want to do is take the flattest side, the straightest edge, and keep them together, straightest edge from each one, and make sure that side is even, because I didn't cut them exact lengths. So the top part might be overhanging a little bit, but make sure the bottom is perfect in size. So if you have double-sided tape, this is a good time to use it, but I don't. So I'm just going to use one-sided tape and overlap it about 1 inch or so, and then tape it together. There you go. So that's one piece, and now I'll go tape on more of it. All right, so I'm going to start with 4 pieces. If I need the 5th piece, we'll come back to it, but 4 pieces, it should be bigger than your actual mold that we're trying to mold it to, see? Because you're going to be bending it and stuff. So now, here goes. We're going to bring in our cookie sheet with our mold around it. So you want to pick an end, I'm going to say a flat end, something that has a long flat surface end. So I'm going to go here, but I'm not going to go all the way up to the armpit, right? So something where we can overlap it here in the middle will be good. So I'm going to start by like the bottom of his leg. You think you would go all the way up to the armpit, but it'll make it harder to bend. And like I said, this is not very easy to do, but it's necessary for what we need to do. And it may not look like much right now, but it will when we finish it. Perfect. I think now we need to find a way to either tape it down, or I'm afraid if I put tape on there, the heat from the liquid is just going to melt the tape. So I got to think it through a little bit, and I'll come right back to you. All right, so now what I've decided to hold this in place was to use a glue gun. And I'm making sure I'm using glue that's non-toxic. Make sure you do that as well. And I'm only going to put it on the outside anyway, but it's just to hold it down to the foil so that there's no gaps in between the mold we made and the foil. So we can just start on one end and kind of work our way around and try to keep it in the shape that it's in. You may just go slow, and you might want to hold it until it starts to form. It doesn't take long with the glue gun. So what we're going to do right now is our mold is made and it's on here good. We're going to make our actual Sour Patch Kid. In a large pot, we're going to add 24 ounces of Jell-O. I'm using lime. You can use any flavor you want, but I thought lime would be cool. Plus, I actually had 24 ounces of it, so it'll work out perfect. 24 ounces, we're going to add that in there. And you'll notice some of them are a different color. It's just different types of lime. Next, we're going to add 20 packages of this unflavored gelatin, and each package is 1/4 of an ounce. So 4 of these equal 1 ounce. So it's 4 ounces total if you're using it from a different container, just to let you know. So just add these in here. I like to do about 4 at a time. Now what we're going to do is add 2 1/4 cups of water to it. Now mix it a little bit, just to make sure all the ingredients are combined. Now we're just going to let it sit for at least 5 minutes to let that gelatin bloom. So after our gelatin has bloomed, you can see right here it's nice and thick. We're going to bring it over to the stove and heat it up until it becomes a liquid state again. Now turn on your heat, medium, stir. Now when it's completely liquefied, we're going to turn off the heat and bring it back to our workstation. All right, so now that it's heated up and in a liquid state, we are going to add some citric acid to it. Now, citric acid, you can get it in a big container like this. Not that you need this much unless you plan on doing a lot of different recipes, but I'll put a link in the description below where you can get a hold of some. And I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup. You can add 1/2 cup. It depends on how sour you want it. This is the thing that makes it sour. So I'm gonna put 1/4 of a cup of this citric acid. And just mix it through until it's well combined. Next, we're gonna spray our mold with some nonstick spray. This will help it come out easier. So just spray it. Now we're just gonna fill our mold with our contents. Not bad, not bad. Okay, so the mold is working. There's a little spot right here that is leaking, a couple spots actually. So I'm gonna try to fix that somehow. Maybe if I put a tray of ice underneath of it, that'll help. Okay, so what I'm doing is just putting this tray of ice or cold blocks underneath of it. What that'll do is help it chill faster, and the faster it chills, the faster it forms. I think what it is, the hot glue we used is melting, and I want to stop that process as quick as possible. But we're going to see if that works. Let it sit out here for a good 5 minutes before we put it in the refrigerator. Now just take this, put this in the refrigerator overnight. So I have my Sour Patch Kid in the refrigerator overnight, and let's open it up and see if it is formed properly and take it out of its mold. So I'm just going to kind of move it from the sides a little bit. Okay, good. It's coming out nicely. Don't want to mess it up. I'm also going to take a knife and just kind of go in, making sure I get it all the way down. You can also just tear off this if you only want to use this mold one time. I'm not sure if I want to use it again. I might. So I want to keep it intact the best I can. All right, I'm just going to grab one end and try to pull it out the best I can. Slowly. not bad. Now just set this aside, and what we're going to do is make the outside, which is all like soury and sugary. We're going to make that right now. So in a small bowl, I have a half a cup of sugar, half a tablespoon of citric acid, and mix. Now we're going to coat our Sour Patch Kid with the mixture we just made. Just take a good handful and then spread it out. Get the other side. All right, so that is it. That is our Sour Patch Kid, or one giant Sour Patch Kid at that. Now we're going to do our taste test. I'm going to bite into our giant Sour Patch Kid here and see how it tastes. See if it tastes like a Sour Patch Kid. And it's about as firm. It's a little less firm, but not bad. You can kind of squeeze it and it not fall apart. So, look, even holding it by one arm. So here we go. Let's try it out. It's good. You really taste that sour. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this giant Sour Patch Kid. It was a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. Also hit that big red subscribe button. You get new videos all the time. Check out this video right here. And until then, I'll see you next time.